Hey everyone, we're starting our pre-Black Friday sale today, November 19th through Thursday the 25th, where you'll enjoy 15% off all orders above $75 and you'll get a free pack of Tarago sneaker wipes no matter what you order, even if it's not over $75. Just buy anything at all and you'll get the free wipes for your dress sneakers or your dress shoes. They are awesome to carry in a backpack or a purse for on-the-go cleaning for any type of shoe. They are fantastic to have on hand, and I carry them everywhere just in case there's a spill. On the 26th, which is Black Friday, all the way until Cyber Monday on the 29th, you'll get 20% off all orders above $75, which is a fantastic deal for anything in the online store. You'll have access to Saphir's entire and complete line, which is over 100 items, so I'm sure there's something there for you. So head on over to theelegantoxford.com starting today and pick up anything you want for great deals and for free wipes. Link in the description of this video. Alright, let's get started with the unboxing. Now, just a reminder, I haven't been paid or asked for a positive review. If a company decides to send me a free pair, like many have, I think about 95% of every episode of the review series has been a free pair of shoes by the company. I only accept if we can stipulate beforehand that I'll only do it if I'm allowed to speak my mind and give you my honest thoughts. So that's just something I want all of you to know. I know some of you have asked and some of you have been wondering. So I've never been paid or asked for a positive review in the review series. Now, Oriental has actually been around since 1957 out of Japan. And you can actually just buy them from their website, even though it's all in Japanese. But this makeup is actually specifically made for Yeossal. And if you don't know Yeossal, they're a really fantastic brand out of Singapore. I've actually done a review series on one of their shoes, Why by Yeossal, and it's absolutely one of my favorite pairs of all time. So if you haven't seen that video, I left a link in the description of this video. The Duke, which is built on the YC3 last, is hand-welted and hand-lasted, has spade soles. So if you haven't seen that review video, you should check it out. These have quickly become one of my favorites, and I really think Yeossal puts out some really great shoes for a really great price. So here's the info. It's the Brighton in burnished calf in a 7.5 UK, 8.5 US. I am an 8E on the Brannick device, but 8.5 works just fine for me since I'm only one width wide. It's a nice, sturdy box. Really nice. Glad to see that. So let's open it up. Oh, and just like last time, I know a lot of you said you preferred this in-person discussion about the shoes instead of a rehearsed script. So I'm going to do it this way again. The shoes come with two individual, which makes me really, really happy. If you know me, I hate one bag. I've said it a million times, and I'll probably say it a million more. I don't like one single bag. I like two individual bags. They have the logo on them. Feel really nice. Let's see. The interior is really soft. So, comes with two. Makes me really happy. All right. Nice. Okay, let's get the other one out. These are quite beautiful. I'll be honest, dark brown is like having chocolate ice cream. Eventually you just get bored and you can't do it anymore, and then you take a break and you see it again or you try it again and you just fall right back in love. And it always happens to me. I'll see someone else wearing dark brown when I'm super tired of it, and it'll just look so amazing. I'll just come back to it.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Let's stick a shoe tree inside. I'll be honest, I really, really love Balmoral Oxfords and boots. And they're called Balmoral, if you don't know, because of this seam that runs down the side. And basically the upper is separated into two. If this were a boot, the shaft would start here. It's kind of a underrated, I guess kind of an old school design, but I don't see it a lot in some major brands that I wish made a Balmoral Oxford. So always happy to have them, always happy to see them. I really like when the top here is suede and the bottom is calfskin. I think that looks especially beautiful in brown. But yeah, happy to have another pair of Oxford Balmorals. One of my absolute favorites now that I've come to progress further and to, I guess, mature in my tastes. It's become one of my favorite styles. Let me just tell you right off the bat what I really like about this shoe. Now, it's this, and that's called the blind waist. So the shoe's cut in a way where you really can't see the waist anymore once you have the shoe on your foot. And so it cuts in really sharply here, and it's called the blind waist. And it really makes for a beautiful aesthetic. In fact, when I take pictures of shoes, I really try to accentuate the blind waist, and it makes for some fantastic pictures. For example, here are some pictures where I'm using that angle to really bring out the beauty and the aesthetic nature of the shoe. So definitely love the blind waist. It makes for beautiful pictures. The front of the foot is kind of flared out and then it cuts right back in. It's not a spade sole per se, but it's a really elegant design as opposed to wider and chunkier designs where it kind of just sticks out a little further and it doesn't look as contoured or as elegant. Here's another look at it. So when you're wearing the shoe, it's on your foot, you're standing, and you look to the side here. There you go. The waist is hidden by the contour of the shoe and the upper, as well as that it's cut in such a way that the waist is super close to the upper. It's just a very elegant design. It's really beautiful. It's not as apparent on this side, but it's still there. And it is really great. The shoe is really aesthetically beautiful, and it was built with really good lines and good contours. So that's a big plus for me. Now, I know I usually stick to the uppers at this point, but let's head down to the waist, which I'm really happy to see. Let's measure it here. All right. And that is 2 inches. It's a very slim and beveled waist. It's almost a fiddleback. It's a pretty sharp cut right here. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it a fiddleback. It's much more contoured than a regular beveled waist, and I'm really happy to see that. It's just a fine detail that really gives structure to the shoe, but it really makes it look elegant as well. I love the two-tone. This is really popular with a lot of English brands like Graziano and Girling and very high-end shoemaking. It's just a really beautiful look. It's usually a black waist, a tan forefront of the shoe up here, and then a dovetail heel, and it's a very slim dovetail heel as well. It's pretty small. I have small hands, so as you can see, it's pretty small and elegant. So really beautiful design. Everything looks great. Blind channel stitching, which is always fantastic to see. I know it really doesn't make a difference, and a lot of brands don't even use it, like Crockett & Jones. They don't use blind channel stitching, but I really like the look. Makes everything look really clean, and they did a very, very good job. There's some nice detailing right here before the waist starts, and everything looks great. So I'm always happy to see some nice sole work. To me, it's just as important as the upper. I know some people disagree, and that's totally okay, but when you look at the totality of a shoe, you have to have solid work on both ends for a truly magnificent shoe. So that's just how I feel about it. All right, here's a closer look at everything with the brightness turned down a bit. There we go. Very clean, solid work. Very happy to see that. Yeah, so overall, solid work here at the bottom. Another detail I like right off the bat is the swan neck design. I know this is a common theme in a lot of the reviews, but I absolutely love the swan neck. And this one's unique. It's not sewn on, it's actually punched in right into the upper. So it's a pretty cool looking design. And I always think it adds a nice flair of elegance, and it's really aesthetically pleasing to look at. So I've always liked the swan neck ever since the old Johnson & Murphy days. It's always been one of my favorites. Sometimes companies will add some leather and broguing, and that also looks really elegant. Some are really thin and they're just stitched on, and that's equally beautiful. But I'm happy to see this unique design punched in right into the leather. Looks really great. Apart from the blind waist that I've already discussed, the 7965 last is a very regal and beautiful last overall. It's elongated here at the front, so it's not stubby or anything like that. It's very sleek, long, and beautiful looking. So it's got curves right where you want them, and it really is a beautiful shoe. The shoes are obviously made from full grain calf. I don't think I'd review a shoe that wasn't, unless it's shell cordovan. I've handled enough shoes, or I'm going to give a guess and say the leather's from Depuis. I could be wrong, but I've handled enough, and this really feels like Depuis. I couldn't find an answer anywhere online, but it's solid, very malleable, very soft. Standard medallion. This is probably the most common medallion I see across all brands. It's just a stock medallion. It's beautiful, it does the job. We have broguing and kind of a soft chiseled toe. It's not super round, it's not squared off, it's just more of a slight chisel, but it looks really regal, and it's going to make for a very nice mirror shine when I actually do that in this video. We have 5 eyelets. Now, this is something I really like about this design, is that the first set of eyelets is wider and then it gets tighter as it gets to the top. Leads your eye in kind of a triangle shape. I know I've said that before in other videos, but whenever I encounter this design, I really, really like it. Flat laces are the standard right now in the industry. I know flat laces have been associated with sneakers in the past, but now flat laces are really slim, sleek, and regal, so they're pretty much the standard across even the best spoke shoemakers, Yohei Fukuda, Graziano, and Gerling. So right now it's really popular, and I'm not a fan of round laces anymore at all. So flat laces for me all across the board. If you don't like flat laces, that's totally cool. I have no problem with that at all. I really prefer them. I think they look really nice, give you a nice look and a nice profile. All right, time for my favorite part. Let's count the stitches per inch. 10 stitches per inch, which is actually pretty good. Didn't expect to see that. That's pretty solid work. We have welt fudging, but it's barely visible. Not that that matters to a lot of people, but it does to me. And I prefer deep welt fudging. But it's not a point against the shoes at all. It's just an observation. But yeah, really solid work. I wasn't expecting a good 10 stitches per inch. Everything's really clean. Wherever I've expected to find sloppiness, I haven't. Everything's just really stitched nicely. Everything's really clean. So yeah, quite impressed. Everything looks really nice and well built. It's a really clean shoe. It's simple but clean, so happy to see that as well. So here where we have the blind waist, it's a rounded edge, and then it flattens out really nicely all the way around, which is fine precision work. Really like to see that as well. And everything looks great. Really smooth. Everything's built up to standard. Really liking what I'm seeing so far. Alright, let's shine this shoe up. Now, I filmed a dedicated mirror shine tutorial for shoes with broguing or a toe medallion last week. It's already up using this exact shoe, so I used this shoe to make 2 videos. If you are still having trouble shining a shoe with a toe medallion, if you're still getting wax inside of the holes, make sure to go on ahead and watch that video. It has some helpful tips, and it'll really help you to shine a shoe that is giving you a little bit of trouble. Other than that, I used black leather dye to add some toe burnishing and some shading around the bottom of the shoe, just so it looks a little deeper, a little more complex, kind of like shading with a pencil. It really gives the shoe a 3D effect, and it doesn't look so plain. It really enriches the brown color as well. So once I present the shoe and I give you my final thoughts, you'll be able to tell the difference. It looks much better. This review is bittersweet, I have to be honest with you. It's bitter because Oriental isn't recognized as easily as more popular brands like TLB Mallorca, who offer similar stylistic elements like a 2-inch beveled waist. But for around the same price, this Oxford can compete with the best of the Goodyear welted line in the same category. I was most impressed by how meticulous and clean the construction was. It's not an ostentatious shoe. The Brighton is reserved and humble, yet beneath its modesty there is a reservoir of beauty and style that many should appreciate. Since I was a little kid, I've noticed that the Japanese take great pride in their work, and Oriental is no different. No corners were cut, even in areas where it's common to see and completely forgivable. Oriental showed integrity and made sure nothing was amiss, which is something I really enjoyed seeing. Hopefully, as I continue my journey into discovering new brands, I can highlight more companies that are lesser known, but deserve recognition.